do I regret Ineffa? I think the obvious answer to that is actually just yes, but the issue is with saying yes, just due to the way that this character looks, the way that she looks right now, I would have said yes had this been all she was, if this was all she was. However, this character has huge future potential, and I am very, very confident that this character is gonna 3x in her value and possibly be on even a couple characters best in slot team. I think we could go into 6.0 and we could end up seeing this character on like 2 or 3, you know? I don't know, maybe, you know, I'm speaking a little bit too much of it, but, you know, I really feel like this character could end up on 2 or 3 of the best in slot teams, and we'll see how that works out. But I really do feel like Ineffa is just gonna end up being better, because I mean, we come here, look at this, and then she gives all nearby party members 40% more lunar charge damage. That is at least gonna buff Flynn's, and obviously I think Ineffa is going to end up best in slot for Flynn's. The only issue is by how much. By how much does Ineffa buff Flynn's so much? Like, how much are we talking? Are we talking, you know, Ineffa currently right now being a very, you know, similar character to Fischl? I don't have, yeah, there she is. Fischl. I don't see that much of a difference between these characters. If you use these characters, you kind of do the same total damage. And I mean, we're talking, you know, Skyward Harp Fischl with Golden Troop. The only real thing that's different between my builds for these characters is that Ineffa just has way more EM. Ineffa just has way more EM, and then obviously Fischl is not, this is not her best weapon, but it's the weapon that I have for her. But these characters are very similar right now, and it's just like, you know, one of those characters can be used in Overload, and is also still best in slot on a lot of Overload teams, right? Maybe not best in slot on a lot, but, you know, maybe 1 or 2 characters that, you know, just still want that all-field damage, and also aggravate with her, you know, A5 passive or something, whatever it's called. But this character, she stuck to Electrocharge. I would absolutely think that, you know, an Electrocharge character who's buffing it by 54%, right? We see 14% here, and then we see 50% here. You would think that that would, you know, make it severely better than, you know, normal. However, we do not see that, and we do not see, you know, that really do much. You know, well, maybe not really do much, but it increases it, but it's not enough. So I'm expecting Ineffa to get a lot better, and that is why I'm gonna say, like, there's not really a definitive answer I can give, right? I'm only really doing this video as a formality because I always do this for new characters and characters that, you know, are getting the reruns. This character, there isn't a way to judge her right now, and it is impossible to really, you know, be like, oh, I regret this character, because you can say that, but in what? How many days? Is it 40? No, it's going to be, what, 28 days, 29 days-ish? Or no, not 29, 39, you know, 39-ish days. You will be saying, oh my god, Ineffa is like 3 times better. Did you? You're not going to be able to say anything. This character is going to be utterly insane. She is a character that if anybody, you know, again, I've made the video where I was like, nobody can really judge this character, and you still can't judge this character, because we're talking about characters that are going to change severely based on what the Archon looks like. Because if the Archon works well, and I mean well with your team, it changes things, right? Nevi had Mavuika come in and vaporize on his team. You already have Shielded on his team, because if you're playing him, you're gonna want Shielded for the extra res shred on every enemy that you are fighting, and, you know, Kazuha doesn't provide that, so you're going to use Shielded. And then Shielded is gonna buff, you know, Mavuika, and Mavuika is gonna go, you know, uber insane, and she's gonna be vaping and everything, so she's easily able to do like upwards of 1,000,000 damage depending on the build that you can do, because you can do a Golden Troop build again on this character, and she can end up doing, you know, 200,000 E skills and at like 80% crit rate. I mean, that's not bad. You know, you can get that out of Mavuika. You can. And if Mavuika, I mean, you're talking about, you still have the Q skill, and then you also have, you know, the E skills damage. Yeah, it's pretty strong, and Mavuika can do a lot of damage for Nevi, right? So the Archon working super well with your team absolutely can change how good you are. Because let's be real, Kinich didn't really gain much from Mavuika. He gained 40% damage bonus. It was all right. The real thing that Kinich gained is that he didn't have to use Shangling for super reliable pyro application, because you had Toma, distance issues, you had Dea, cooldown cooldown issues, right? There were issues and also distance issues because they could just move away from Dea. It was an issue with Kinich, and now Mavuika completely fixed that. Now that's a small issue though. That is a small issue that doesn't necessarily affect your damage and is purely quality of life. It's not like Nevi, who got a uber insane off-field DPS, right? It just isn't. So, we will see how Ineffa ages depending on how Columbina looks, because Columbina is Hydro, at least from what I'm understanding, and this character is probably gonna be on her best team. Columbina is gonna be on her best team. It just simple as that. So we'll see. Maybe my Columbina is a Archon level character who's a DPS, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna, buff Lunar Charge myself, and I'm gonna, do Lunar Charge damage, and then if you have, like, Electro and, Hydro on the team, and then I'll do Lunar Freeze with, Cryo characters, right? We don't know. I'm expecting that she's gonna be really strong. I'm very much so expect that she's gonna be very strong. I think it's very possible we see her end up looking like Mavuika, but, we'll see. Yeah, I just don't think this character can truly be judged right now. If I were to judge her right now in 5.8 and look nothing at 6.0 at like what possibly we could be seeing, like I don't even know who Flynn is. Yes, I do regret this character because she does nothing. She does nothing. She sits on your accounts and she does nothing right now. However, I expect that to change, which is why I would have to say no for right now, but could easily, again, change to a yes in 6.0. We'll see. But as of right now, it's an okay. She does her thing. She really is just a stagnant, or not stagnant, but like an independent character to the rest of the game, because this character she doesn't, like, she feels like Shiori. You don't use this character, like, at all, because she's never on any best in slot teams. Like, never. You only run Shiori when you want to run Shiori, and I feel like that's the same exact reason why you would use Ineffa, right? You only use her when you want to use her. Like, she's new, she's nice, if she is left like this, oh boy, this is like one of the worst characters in history. However, I do not think that she will be left like this. So yes, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.